Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio, and with me today is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Doing good.
So today we are talking about the Tatuaje 15th anniversary Habano Rosado Oscuro Belicoso Fino. It's kind of a Belicoso 5.5 by 52 ring gauge. Comes out of the El Rey de los Habanos factory in the United States. Wrappers Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro, binder and filler from Nicaragua. It is blended by Pete Johnson. The price point is $19, and the cigar was released in July of 2018. So all that out of the way, June, what was your smoking experience like?
For me, this was a definitely a heavier body profile, so I pinned it kind of like in medium plus, as well as kind of as the cigar went through. It was like medium plus, by the way, by the time I finished in terms of strength. So in terms of flavors, bolder, rustic flavors, sort of a focus. Cayenne pepper, white pepper, minerals, sharp oak, cream. When I retrohaled, I got more of that cayenne pepper that kicked up a bit more, and I got more minerality as well. Finish is long and lingering with namely like an oak character to it. And as as the cigar progressed, it was basically that set of profile. Within the second third, the profile became a little bit more creamier, and and then by the last third, I kind of felt like the creaminess was actually completely lost for some reason, and that kind of made it seem like it lost complexities and it became a bit too like earth driven and like mineral driven, that it wasn't as good as the first couple of thirds. In terms of construction, burn was very good. A couple of touch ups required, but a lot of smoke production, cool burn, thick ashes. In terms of draw, perfect. What about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with wood, some intense cinnamon and light creaminess. About a quarter inch in, that cream transitions to mustiness, and the cinnamon was still fairly intense. About half an inch, and I get a walnut note that joins in. And then further in, the cinnamon mellows out quite a bit. Retrohale has the cinnamon up front, still carries a decent zing to it. A little bit of mustiness and walnut behind that. About an inch and a quarter, some cream rejoins in. Creates an interesting mix with the mustiness. Retrohale's down musty wood and walnut, with just a little bit of cinnamon there. Strength was slightly below medium. And then getting into the second third, a little bit of bitterness joins in with the walnut to go along with the wood and the mustiness creaminess combination. Cinnamon drops out of the profile altogether there. About a half inch in, the bitterness has increased, so but it's in combination with that walnut, so you kind of get the walnut bitterness, so it kind of rounds out that profile. Wood still up front, cream dropped out, but the mustiness is still there. About an inch and a quarter, the bitterness starts to mellow a little bit. Retrohale brings wood, mustiness, kind of mild version of that bitter walnut. Strength bumps up to medium. Then get into the final third, profile is still musty wood, bitter walnut. About half inch in, that walnut transitions to kind of a dry earthiness, but the bitterness still remains there. And then a little bit more, a little bit of mintiness joins in the profile. Retrohale's carrying musty wood, a little bit of mintiness to it. And as the third's coming to a close, cigar drops out. I mean, the bitterness drops out. Profile's musty wood and dry earthiness. Strength kind of remains at medium. In regards to construction, burn line was a little bit wavy the whole way. Ash held on inch and a half increments, and then I thought the draw was perfect as well. I had no issues with it whatsoever. So overall, what were your thoughts on this, Jim?
Um, I actually had some sort of a more amped up excitement to smoke this. I mean, it's the whole 15th anniversary thing, and I actually had a really great pre-light experience on this. Got like cherry cordials, plum, cedar, hay. So I was actually really excited to light it up. But it's interesting. I mean, once I did light it up, it's very different than what I got out of it pre-light. I mean, it- I don't really know quite understand what the direction of this cigar is. I kind of feel like given such given more like a bolder, more robust, like spicier mineral based kind of a cigar. Um, I kind of feel like this is not very Pete like. I understand that Pete has a lot of stuff that's like medium plus bodied, which I really enjoy. But he also has such a good way of like typically blending into like more sweetness and cream added into a cigar. And I wish that I had more of that. So I think if I would have had more of that, it would have been a lot better. But I rated it overall as good, but I don't really think that I'm gonna reach out for it anytime soon, honestly. So
Yeah, for me, starts with wood, cream, cinnamon, a little mustiness, joins in a little bit further in. That walnut note came in. I dug that. I don't really get walnut that often in a cigar, so it was kind of cool. Construction is really good. So I just got to focus on flavors. Didn't have to worry about burn draw issues at all. While it's still, while it carries that note of walnut that I liked, I don't typically get that. The overall profile was kind of average. Not what I would associate with an anniversary cigar. Not what I would associate with the cigar at this price point. So, with that price level, I'm probably not going to come back to it just because it wasn't something that like wowed me and it would make me want to pay that money again. But if you're a Tatuaje fan, it's going to be something you want to try. I think I would want to try the other version of this, which is the Claro, I think is the name of it, right? It's supposed to be the same tobacco. It's just a lighter color of leaf that they put on. So I don't know if those makes a big much a difference or not. We'd have to check that out. But I think that would be my only way to revisit this would be to check out the Claro, but not go back to this cigar. So getting into the scores, you gave it a 6.72. I gave it a 6 even. So how do you think that matched up with your experience?
it matched well. I mean, great scores for construction. First couple of thirds profile, I called it good. Last third, lows it out some complexity. I called it average. So, it's about that. It's not really going to go anywhere in terms of like top listings for me with a score like that for this year. But I'm good with that score.
Yeah, mine is slightly above average flavor profile, really good construction. That's how it gets to 6. But it's not anything that's special. And then the price point doesn't factor into that. But if you add on the price point after the fact, that's kind of a no-go for me. So, any other final thoughts from you?
No, I if the other 15th anniversary means that it's creamier base and less of the like sharp oak and that kind of minerals and that kind of thing, then I will definitely like that more. And perhaps I chose the wrong one for us. Perhaps we chose the wrong one to review for us.
Your fault, Jiunn. God damn it. All right. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. We'll check out the full written review on the website, developthepalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels. You can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.